Hey, welcome to the soon-to-be Down To Earth Woodworking shop. Let's go in and take a look around. I've got some big plans. I forgot. Stupid door. It's a homemade door. Some kind of combination lock set on it. Doesn't work. I've got the combination, but I can't open it. Can't open it from the inside either. So I'm kind of stuck. The only access is through the garage door. So we'll go in that way and we'll take a look around. Doesn't really matter about this door anyway because I'm going to replace it. I want to put a 36-inch wide door in there, probably one with at least the top half being glass, so I can see out and get some additional light into the shop. Let's go take a look around. You might not be able to tell, but there's a beam here in the middle of this door, and for some reason it's off-center. I'm not sure if it's structural. It doesn't look from the inside like it needs to be, but it's there and just hanging out. That's okay because I'm going to replace this whole door with a wall and probably extend the garage out a little bit. Let's go take a look. This is a relatively open 24 by 24 foot space, with the exception of a little cutout that's right here. You probably noticed from where the door was located. I lost about, maybe 20, 30, 40 square feet, something like that. I haven't even calculated it because of that bump out. But that's fine because, as it turns out, this space is only about 15 square feet smaller than the space that I'm in currently. But it's going to wind up being a lot bigger, and I'll show you why in just a second. The space is kind of filled right now with a lot of stuff from inside the house, some tools, some tool storage, some lumber, various bits of other stuff. But I'll try to work around that and give you an idea of what some of my plans are. The first thing you'll notice is this. This is an interesting arrangement. It's a relatively short extension ladder that my handyman homeowner ran a threaded steel rod through the top rung and attached it through a couple of drilled holes in the rafter ties, and he hooked up a rope and a pulley so that he could actually raise the ladder up out of the way. Once I realized what was going on, I lowered the ladder down and took a look upstairs and found out that because of the pitch of the roof, he had decked a good bit of the what I'll call the second floor, and that about 5 feet either side of the ridge line, the center line of the roof, I actually can stand straight up. Now I'm about 6'2", so that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, the rafter ties are on 32-inch centers, or every other 16-inch on center rafter. They have a rafter tie running across, and those are almost 24 feet long. That will not support any kind of weight up there. He was storing a lot of stuff up there. In fact, there's tons of junk up there still. But I had some help and did some engineering studies, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to get 24-foot 2x6s, and we're going to run them on every rafter line so that they'll wind up on 16-inch centers. And then I've ordered a laminate beam to run across the center, and I'll support that on both ends, of course, and that'll take out any bounce that might tend to be up there. It won't be ideal, but it will certainly support a lot of weight. He used some old tongue and groove and sort of pieced together some decking. It doesn't cover the entire thing. I'll actually deck this with 3/4 inch, either CDX or subfloor material. Haven't decided yet. And then I'll insulate the roof rafters in between, and I'll probably put some CDX panel, or I won't drywall it, but I'll put something up there, maybe even some T11 siding to cover that. There are a couple of windows upstairs. It looks like maybe he got those at a used place because they don't match. The windows on either end and the gables are different size. One's a slider, one's a tilt out. Neither one of them have screens, so I will reframe those and put new windows up there as well. What my intention is to only store some lightweight stuff up there, but to put one thing and one thing only up there, and that's all my sharpening station. If I sharpen all of my tools up there instead of in the shop, I will actually pick up what is now in my shop, about 24 square feet of bench space. If I pick up that space, then the space in the shop will actually be larger than my current shop. So that's the plan, but I'll get rid of the ladder, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. This is the corner where the stairs will be. Actually, what will happen is we'll start here, and we'll come up. I've got this calculated out. It comes up, I can't remember how many steps, and there will be a platform in the corner, and then the steps will come up this way, up so that when I emerge at the top of the steps, I'm in the tallest point of the peak of the roof. That way I don't have to duck or anything as I go up. I'll have to make an opening here, frame that in, brace that properly, and then build the stairs. So the first order of business for getting the shop in shape, I've already had a sub panel run out, but there's no electrical run. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stub out everywhere where I want to have electrical runs and get those into the walls. Then in this corner I'll clean this up, remove all these built-ins that he's got, and I'll go ahead and insulate these walls and sheathe them however I'm going to do that for the inside before I start building the stairs. That way I won't have to cut around the stairs and the stringers and all that stuff for the wall sheathing. So that'll be my access to upstairs. Once I get access to upstairs, I'll go ahead and deck that. That will allow me to move some stuff up there and get it out of the way so I can start to work down here. Everything's got to go in order. On to this corner. This is going to be the most exciting part to me. What we're going to do is we're going to put a door in here. And behind the garage, we're going to add on a room. And that room, right now, we sort of have it spec'd at about 5.5 or 6 feet by about 6 to 8 feet long. But in that room, I intend to put my dust collection system and possibly an air compressor. So I'm going to run 220 over here to this, probably a 110-volt circuit as well. I'll put a switch on the outside that'll kill everything in that room. I'll put air exchangers in the doors or in the wall next to it. That way I won't lose heat out of the shop while the dust collector is working. The air will go in, and the air exchange will allow the air through laminar flow to come back into the shop. I'll probably have some filtration on that as well. The most important part is to get the dust collection out of the shop to save the space and cut down on the noise. Hello. This is the current access door. You probably can't see it. It's kind of dark in this corner. But I'll be replacing this, as I mentioned, with one with glass so you can see. I want to put at least one window back here, looking straight out to the backyard. All of the existing wiring in this shop is going to have to be torn out. None of it is done to code. So a lot of the wiring that was done in this garage was done with extension cords. Some of it was done with Romex cable, but it was all run on the outside of the 2x4s and just tacked on. So I've got to strip all of that out and redo everything. What I really wanted to show you, and I'm sorry, there's some critter in this garage that's leaving me little residue here, but we'll get that cleaned up, and I'm sure when I clean out up here upstairs, I'll probably find the critter, or he'll find me. But what I wanted to show you was the floor. I was very pleased to note that the floor is actually in good shape. There's a couple of very small cracks, but those are settling cracks. Doesn't appear to be any infiltration of water whatsoever, and the concrete itself is in pretty good shape. However, I'm still going to cover it. The slope from this end to the front of the garage is about 2 3/4 inches total, which is about right for a 24-foot run. What I will do is I'll cut sleepers in progressively deeper, wider cuts and line them up across on 16-inch centers with cross braces between them and run those the full length of the garage. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use foam or vermiculite. Between the sleepers is insulation, but I'll put in insulation, put in a vapor barrier, and then put in tongue and groove plywood, either subfloor or CDX or something like that on top of that for my floor. Well, those are the plans. Now I got to get back to work inside the house. I can't wait to get started out here though, and hopefully you'll have fun following along. Guess I better get rid of this big load of garbage.